of the legendary maestro Padma Vibhushan Sangeet Martand Pandit Jasraj, who recently unfortunately passed away. The title of Asthana Pandit has been conferred upon Pandit Mukesh Desai by none other than our Puja Swamiji. Among the Arsha Vidya family, Pandit Mukesh Desai is fondly called as Mukesh Bhai and Mukesh uncle to the younger generation. And he is loved for his humor, profundity as a musician, and rare ability to lead his audience and students into the realm of timelessness through sound. He has performed extensively in the US, Canada, Europe, Brazil, South Asia, and India, and has been offering music workshops on the spiritual potential of sound and Nada Yoga for over 25 years. He has also been conducting yoga and sound workshops with Yogacharya Sri Ramanand Patel. Sri Paresh Kashalkar, an IT professional who lives in Allentown with his wife Sumedha and 2 children, has been studying Tabla since his childhood. He has learned from many gurus, though he was most influenced by Pandit Chandrakant Kamat from Banaras Gharana. We are happy to have them perform for us today. Before we begin the concert, I request you to please turn off your cell phone or switch it to silent mode. We also ask you to kindly refrain from looking at this year's souvenir during the entire program. We are sure that you will enjoy reading it after today's events. Thank you.
Thank you, Avni. On this great occasion, this is my tribute, my offering to Puja Swamiji and also Sangeet Martand Pandit Jasraj, who is also a Padma Vibhushan. Both of them are no more with us, with me, but they are always present every moment in the form of blessings. I'll sing some short pieces today of the ragas which Puja Swamiji used to love singing or hear singing. And I have also accompanied him so many times while he's singing, and also I've been lucky to learn a lot of music from him in my own way. I will sing a small chant first for peace and well-being, and then sing Puja Swamiji's one of his compositions, followed by other pieces.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sanidapamaga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gamanida Nidaga Nidapamaga Paga Pama Dadama Ganidama Nigama Pada Ni Sa. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo. Puja Swamiji's composition now. That is Madhura Madhura Meenakshi. He also used to sing this beautiful bhajan, Mori Lagi Lagan Guru Charanan Ki. That's also in Rag Bhageshri. These compositions have been so very well rendered by Sri Maharaj Puram Santanamji and Sri Ramchandranji. Beautifully rendered. I will sing this composition. Madhura Madhura Meenakshi Madhurapur Nilaye Madhura Madhura Meenakshi Madhurapur Nilaye Amba 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 Jagadamba Madhura Madhura Meenakshi Madhurapur Nilaye Amba 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 Jagadamba Maniga Dadama Gadama ಗಮದ ಗಮದನ ದಮಗ ಮ ದ ನಿ ದಗ ಮ ಪದಗ ಮಗರೆ ನಿಸ ಮಧುರ ಮಧುರ ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಧುರ 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 ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಧುರ 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 ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾತಾಗಿ ಮರಕತಾಂಗೆ ಮಧುರ ಮಧುರ ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾತಾಗಿ ಮರಕತಾಂಗೆ ಮಾತರ್ ಮಮ ಹೃದಯ ನಿವಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾಂ ಪಾಯಿ ಸಂತಾಪ ಹಾರಿಣಿ ಮಾಂ ಪಾಯಿ ಸಂತಾಪ ಹಾರಿಣಿ ಮಧುರ ಮಧುರ ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಧುರ ಮಧುರ ವಾಗ್ವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾತರ್ ಮಮ ಹೃದಯ ನಿವಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾಂ ಪಾಯಿ ಸಂತಾಪ ಹಾರಿಣಿ ಮಾಂ ಪಾಯಿ ಸಂತಾಪ ಹಾರಿಣಿ ಮಧುರ ಮಧುರ ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ಮಧುರಾಪುರ ನಿಲಯ ಅಂಬಾ 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 ಜಗದಂಬಾ ಸುಂದರೇಶ್ವರ ಭಾಗೀಶ್ವರಿ ಸುಂದರೇಶ್ವರ ಭಾಗೀಶ್ವರಿ ಅಂಬ ಸುವರಾದಿ ಜಗದೀಶ್ವರಿ ಛಾಯೆ पतितात्मा परितारिणी माये परम गुह्य परब्रह्म सहाय मधुर मधुर मीनाक्षी मधुरापुरी निलये अम्बा 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 जगदम्बा 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 Thank you. This particular piece is a very emotional piece for me also. It is the last piece I sang for Swamiji. I'll sing now a most celebrated piece of my gharana, so beautifully, so wonderfully rendered by my Guruji Pandit Jasraji, and also a piece so much liked by Puja Swamiji. This particular raga also, Rag Adana. Mata Kalika, Mata Kalika, Mata Kalika, Mata Kalika, Mahakala, Mahakala, Mahakala Madani Jagat Janani Bhavani 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 Mata Kalika Kalika Ema Dani Gada Ni Gamare Sarma Padani Sa Ni Sadani Sa Dare Re Sada Ni Sa Ni Ni Sa Dare Re Re Dare Re 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 Sada Ni Ni Sa Ni Ni Sa Mata Kalika Khadgamundaka Parkaradharani Karadharani Karadharani Dharani Khadgamundaka Parkaradharani Karadharani Karadharani Dharani 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 Khadgamundaka Parkaradharani Karadharani Karadharani Asura 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 Khadgamundaka Parkaradharani Karadharani Asura Hara Hara Asura Hara Harani Taran Tarini Taran Tarini Taran Tarini Bhakt Palika Bhakt Palika Dayadani Bhavani 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 Mata Kalika Khadgamundaka Parkaradharani Karadharani Karadharani Asura Hara Harani Taran Tarina Taran Tarini Taran Tarini Bhakt Palika Bhakt Palika Taran Tarini Bhakt Palika Dayadani Bhavani 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 Mata Kalika Mata Kalika Mahakala, 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 Ghanina Baba Gamanina Baba Remanina Baba Gamarare Mahakala, Mahakala, Maharani Jagat Janani Bhavani, Bhavani, Bhavani Mata Kalika, Mata Kalika, Mata Kalika Thank you. Another morning raga liked by Puja Swamiji. Nat Bhairav. Kararvindena padarvindam mukharvinde viniveshayantam Kararvindena padarvindam mukharvinde viniveshayantam Vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balam mukundam manasa smarami balam mukundam manasa smarami Govind Damodara Madhaveti Govind Damodara Madhaveti Govind Damodara Madhaveti Shri Krishna Govinda Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Jibhe pibasvamrut met deva Jibhe pibasvamrut met deva Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Padama Mani Gadava Dava Magare Re Gama Pare Dava Magare Dani Zarga Sadava Vikretu Kama Kil Gop Kanya Vikretu Kama Kil Gop Kanya Murari Padarpita Chitta Vritti Dadhyadikam Mohavashad Vochad Dadhyadikam Mohavashad Vochad Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Gruhe gruhe go bavadho kadamba sarve militva samavapya yogam punyani namani patanti nityam punyani namani patanti nityam Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Shri Krishna Radha Var Gokulesh Gopal Govardhana Nath Vishnu Vishnu Madani Mabadani Nizata Dhare Re Re Nire Nigarada Dani Re Garanada Niniza Shri Krishna Radha Var Gokulesh Gopal Govardhana Nath Vishnu Vishnu Jivhe Pibasvamrit Nit Deva Jivhe Pibasvamrit Nit Deva Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda 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 Govinda, 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 Govinda. Govinda, 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 Govinda. Ni da 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 ni da 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 ni ni da ni da 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 ni ni da ni da 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 ni ni da da sa ni ni da 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 ni 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 Govinda, 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 Govinda. Da ni da ga ra ni da ga ra ni da re 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 ni da 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 ni da. Govinda, 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 Govinda. I will end the program with just 2 lines of Puja Swamiji's composition, one of the best amongst the very best. Gangadhar Shankara Karunakara, Gangadhar Shankara. This is set to Revati in Carnatic music and Bairagi in Hindustani music. Gangadhar Shankara Karunakara, Gangadhar Shankara Karunakara, Mamav Bhav Sagar Taraka, Bho Shambho Shiv Shambho Swayambho, Bho Shambho. Swayambho, Bho Shambho, Shiv Shambho Swayambho, Bho Shambho, Shiv Shambho Swayambho, Bho Shambho, Shiv Shambho Swayambho. Gangadhar Shankara Karunakara, Gangadhar Shankara Karunakara, Mamav Bhav Sagar Taraka, Bho Shambho Shiv Shambho Swayambho, 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 Shiv Shambho Swayambho, Shiv Shambho Swayambho, Shiv Shambho Swayambho. Anand 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 Anand, 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 Anuda, Anand, 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 Ananda.
What an outstanding performance. A heartfelt thanks to Pandit Mukesh Ji and Sri Paresh Kashalkar.
My pranams to Swamiji's one and all, and also my heartfelt thanks to Puja Swami Viditatmananji for having given such a wonderful opportunity to sing on this particular occasion. My special thanks to him. Thank you very much. Namaste. And my special thanks to Paresh ji. Give him a big hand. In spite of this pandemonic and all that, he came and played. I'm very thankful to him. Paresh, thank you.
While the stage is being cleared, I'd like to make a few safety announcements.
Yes.
For your reference, there are 4 exits in the auditorium, 2 on the side. To get there, please go past where you left your shoes, and you will find restrooms on the right. Additional restrooms are available in the basement, in the activity center adjacent to this building, and in the Temple Hall building. Per Swami Tattvavedanandaji, henceforth Swami TV, an abbreviated form that Swamiji prefers, we are distributing aluminum water bottles to minimize the consumption of single-use plastic bottles. You will have your own personal bottle that will have your unique number on it. Please retain your bottle, use the water refilling stations outside the auditorium, and take your bottle home for all your thirst-quenching needs. Today, please wear your mask at all times, except if you're the MC, except at times of eating and drinking. Please also practice social distancing of at least 6 feet, both inside and outside the Gurukulam buildings. Lastly, you will find stations with hand sanitizers and disinfectant wipes for your safety and convenience. I now invite Swami TV, Swami Pratyak Bodhanandaji, Swami Muktatmanandaji, Mr. Piyush Shah, and Mrs. Avantika Shah to the stage. Yes, please. We feel privileged to have the opportunity on this auspicious day of our 34th anniversary and Puja Swamiji's 90th Aradhana birthday celebrations to honor our respected teachers for their illuminating teachings and compassionate guidance over the years. We honor Swami Vidadatmananda Ji, Swami TV, Swami Pratyak Bodhananda Ji, Swami Muktatmananda Ji, Swamini Shri Vidyananda Ji, Swamini Agamananda Ji, Swami Jnanananda Ji, Brahmachari Suryanarayana Chaitanya, and Swami Ramananda Ji. We would also like to honor Swamini Swatma Vidyananda Ji, Swamini Parapragnanananda Ji, Swami Advayatmananda Ji, and Swamini Brahma Prakashananda Ji. We are grateful for their time, effort, and guidance. We would additionally like to honor Mr. and Mrs. Piyush and Avantika Shah for their enduring and timely support of the Gurukulam. Without them, we surely would not be here today. We thank you both immensely for your continued love and generosity. And finally, we thank our esteemed board members for their leadership and contributions. We take this moment to fondly remember two of our board members, Mr. G.S. Raman and Anand Gupta Ji, who sadly passed away this year. They both worked tirelessly to support our ashram's progress, and we appreciated and loved them dearly. We have some new books by Puja Swamiji, Swami Vidadatmananda Ji, and Swami TV that will be released today, and I'm excited to share a short description of each of them with you. Before that, I would like to release this year's anniversary souvenir, made beautifully by Swamini Agamananda Ji and her team. Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram in praise of the Teacher of Teachers by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. This book is based on 17 classes on the Dakshinamurti Stotram taught by Puja Swamiji in 1999 at our Anakati ashram in Tamil Nadu. Whatever the Prasthanatraya discusses, all of that is presented briefly through a set of verses which are in the form of praise and namaskara to Ishvara. So, it becomes a stotra. Swami Shankarananda Saraswati, with the help of Srimati Sheila Balaji, Shri V. Ramanathan, Brahmacharini Nandana Chaitanya, and the AVR and PT team have transcribed and edited Puja Swamiji's classes. Management Wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Vidadatmananda Ji. This book is a compilation of talks delivered by Swami Vidadatmananda Ji at a management seminar in Mumbai. Here, Swamiji addresses an audience of management students and graduates to help them understand the values taught in the Bhagavad Gita. He also provides valuable insights on how they may apply these values in their workplaces, professional interactions, and personal relationships. Vedanta Sara by Swami Vidadatmananda Ji. This book contains Swami Vidadatmananda Ji's explanation of a text called Vedanta Sara by an author named Sadananda Yogendra Saraswati. This text consists of a staggering 227 verses and encapsulates the essence of all the important concepts and principles of Vedanta. Swamiji's treatment of each of these verses offers a broad understanding of the elaborate subject matter and will help you gain clarity on the many facets of Advaita Vedanta. Gopina Panchakam by Swami TV. Gopina Panchakam is a small yet profound prakarana text of Sri Shankara Bhagavatpada. Swami TV has written a lucid commentary in English on it in a book by the same title. Om Namaste. Over the last 30 years, I have had the fortune of being camp counselor, Vedic heritage teacher, Sanskrit teacher here at AVG Sailorsburg. Today, I would like to talk about some of my reflections as a student in Sailorsburg and Ainakati studying under Puja Swamiji. I will weave into these reflections some of my history with Puja Swamiji and the Arsha Vidya Gurukulam. Puja Swamiji's approach to Advaita Vedanta, specifically his unfoldment of Ishvara, the Jagat as Mithya, and his unique ability to lead me to the vision of my true nature as limitless non-dual consciousness through his masterful translations of the words of the Shastra, have helped me to grow in my mumukshutvam, desire for moksha, or freedom from suffering, and jignyasa, desire for liberating self-knowledge. Sometime in the late 1980s, I think it was the summer of 1988, when I was 16 years old, my father, Mr. Bhagubai Taylor, suggested that instead of our yearly trip to India during the summer months, we should go as a family to a family camp in the Poconos. I have to say that I resisted at first, having known little of Swamis and Gurus. As a family, we had previously been to the Hare Krishna ashram in West Virginia, and I did not feel at home there. In contrast, within a few days into the family camp here at AVG Sailorsburg, I was having the best time of my life, participating in the children's program, for example, arts and crafts with Lance Daniels and drama with Savitri Auntie, and enjoying Arati in the temple and Iyengar yoga classes in the old dining hall. Most importantly, I had an epiphany in Swamiji's adult classes on Kathopanishad in the Kutiya, known now as Dayalayam. I vividly remember where I was sitting when Swamiji told the small group of students attentively listening to his words that, quote, "You are whole, complete, you lack nothing," end quote. I remember his words deeply resonating with me. Swamiji said, "There's nothing to be done, nothing to be accomplished. The seeker is the sought. You are what you are looking for in every time-bound experience." For the first time in my life, at that moment, I felt at home in my body and mind, despite my insecurities, centered on the limitations of both mind and body. To put it mildly, Swamiji opened my eyes to the possibility of liking myself. Because, as Swamiji put it, the self is intrinsically likable, being that it is non-dual. I also remember that Swamiji was a masterful storyteller. He was hilarious, witty, compassionate, relating to any audience by his sophisticated understanding of contemporary culture and his adept use of modern examples. During high school, I would attend a family camp with my family every summer, often ending them in tears because I did not want to leave Swamiji. In my college years, I would drive from State College, Pennsylvania, every weekend to attend classes with Puja Swamiji, Swami Vidadatmanandaji, and Swami Pratyak Bodhanandaji. Majoring in comparative literature and French literature, I desperately tried to find Vedanta's equivalent in the literary world. I could not. I realized that there was nothing, clearly nothing like Advaita Vedanta. After my first year at Penn State, Puja Swamiji announced a 6-month course in his Anakati ashram, and with the blessing of my parents, I took a leave of absence from my undergraduate program and flew to Coimbatore. I particularly loved the morning Abhishekam to Lord Dakshinamurti, during which time I learned how to chant Sri Rudram from Shridatmaji and others. Having been raised since birth in a religious environment by my maternal grandmother, Srimati Saraswati Bhagat, who showed me by example the mental peace and joy that daily puja can bestow, I was already inclined to worship. Being in the presence of Lord Dakshinamurti and relating to Ishvara helped me tremendously in terms of my personal growth. At the same time, being immersed in Vedanta as a resident student, I was slowly learning how to embrace Ishvara as non-separate from the world that included myself. Though Puja Swamiji was committed to unfolding Brahma Vidya, he spent considerable time speaking on the importance of karma yoga, including bhakti and the values outlined in the Bhagavad Gita. In short, there was absolutely no shortcut to moksha or liberation from suffering. I learned that there was no bypassing adhikaritvam or preparedness for self-knowledge in terms of emotional maturity centered on my relationship with Ishvara. And I learned the necessity of purushartha vichara, an honest inquiry into the common pursuits in life centered on viveka, discrimination between what is ontologically real and unreal, and vairagya, dispassion towards fruitless yet enticing pursuits. Puja Swamiji's approach to Advaita Vedanta was not to dismiss the world as asat or unreal, an approach which I strongly believe may lead to spiritual bypass of one's own unconscious trauma as well as one's conscious fluctuating emotions, ultimately ending in psychological disassociation. In keeping with the Shastra and Shankara's Bhashyam, Swamiji explained the Sat Asat Anirvachaniyam status of the world. The world is neither unreal nor real. The world straddles between Sat and Asat, or reality and unreality, being that it is dependent upon Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Instead of denying the dependent reality of the world, Swamiji helped me to see that the world is Ishvara, and that I could transform my emotional pain and limited sense of self by cultivating a relationship with Ishvara in my daily life, through puja, meditation, and vichara, leading to mumukshutvam, jignasa, and finally nishtha, or abidance in self-knowledge. In short, karma yoga was the means to moksha, because it would prepare me for not simply a mere intellectual understanding that my true nature is limitless non-dual consciousness that is Brahman. Rather, karma yoga would prepare me to assimilate this fact of aham brahmasmi and bestow upon me the freedom I have been seeking in this and perhaps many past incarnations. So this was my first lesson while in Anakati, the significance of Purushartha Vichara, and the indispensability of understanding and appreciating Ishvara and Mithya in my daily life. Upon graduation in Anakati, I finished my BA in Comparative Literature and completed 2 master's degrees at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. The first was in Sanskrit poetics, and the second was in the history of Advaita Vedanta and the colonial and post-colonial interpretations, often misrepresentations of Advaita Vedanta, both by Western missionaries and Indologists, and by Indian sadhus such as Vivekananda, Aurobindo, and Arya Samaj's Swami Dayananda Saraswati, to name a few. Having studied traditionally in a 3-year course, I could see how both Western and indigenous representations and translations of the Prasthana Traya missed the mark in many ways. I owe this clarity to Puja Swamiji, who beautifully translated Sanskrit terms into English without relying on colonial and post-colonial interpretations that are often embedded in Judeo-Christian theology and/or the paradigm and language of modern science. Puja Swamiji would spend hours in classes dismantling skewed and misleading misinterpretations that could lead to fundamental misunderstandings of the Shastra and oneself. For example, sin for the word papam or bliss for the word ananda, to name just a few. Swamiji was the human incarnation of Shabda Paramanam, the Shastra as the means of knowledge. He could unfold the teaching as a mirror in which I could see myself as Purana or whole without putting me on a spiritual trip. I feel confident in my understanding of Advaita Vedanta because Swamiji very carefully chose his words. Not only was Puja Swamiji my guru, he was my confidant, guide, mentor, and refuge. I could and would tell Swamiji everything, and not once did he label or judge me. He listened with compassion, offered his perspective and guidance with compassion, and was always available for me and my family. I miss him dearly every day, and I feel immensely blessed to have had the opportunity and ability to be in Swamiji's presence, studying and learning from his Shrotriyatvam, expertise in the Shastra, Brahmanishtha, abidance in Brahman, and his Daya, compassion. Truly, our founder, father, and guru is the embodiment of Brahma Jnanam, knowledge of Brahman, and an incarnation of Lord Shiva as Dakshinamurti, the teacher of liberating self-knowledge. On this auspicious celebration of Puja Swamiji's 90th birthday, I want to say thank you, Swamiji, for devoting your life to leading me and others from ignorance to self-knowledge. Om Tat Sat. Thank you.